Breaking news, Vikings Nation. The first revelation is about to detonate inside Soldier Field, and it's going to shake Monday Night Football to its absolute core. We're talking about 5 earth-shattering updates that could redefine everything you thought you knew about this purple and gold franchise heading into the most anticipated season opener in recent memory. A massive injury report comparison between us and Chicago that reveals who has the real advantage going into primetime. A rookie, undrafted free agent who's becoming the talk of defensive coordinator Brian Flores might be your new favorite player by Tuesday morning. A $66 million star getting absolutely roasted by national media in a way that's going to make you question everything about our salary cap decisions. Special teams chaos as we completely shuffle our returner depth chart just days before kickoff. And the signing that's already proving its worth as Carson Wentz becomes the perfect mentor for JJ. McCarthy's NFL debut. Each of these shocks could redefine the future of this team, and I'm about to break down every single detail that has the football world buzzing about Minnesota heading into Monday Night Football against Chicago. If you bleed purple and gold more than you hate the Bears, smash that like button, because this is the kind of insider information that separates real Vikings fans from fair weather followers, and you're gonna need every ounce of that Viking pride after you hear what's coming next. But hold on, as shocking as all of that sounds, the next update cuts even deeper, and it involves the injury report that just dropped for Monday Night Football, revealing exactly who has the advantage heading into this crucial NFC North showdown. The Jet Chicago Bears have released their first official injury report, and it's a mixed bag that could completely change how this game unfolds under the lights at Soldier Field. Let me break down what we're dealing with, because the Bears didn't actually practice on Thursday due to their Monday Night Football schedule adjustment, so their injury report is based on estimations from Wednesday's practice, which makes this whole situation even more unpredictable. The Bears have 3 players listed as did not practice. Defensive back Josh Blackwell with a groin injury, linebacker TJ Edwards dealing with a hamstring issue, and running back Roschon Johnson nursing a foot problem that could seriously impact their backfield depth. But here's where it gets interesting for our offensive game plan. Cornerback Jalon Johnson is listed as limited with calf and groin injuries. And if he can't go at full strength or misses the game entirely, we're looking at a potential field day for Justin Jefferson, who's been waiting all offseason to remind everyone why he's the most dangerous receiver in the NFC North. The Bears also have running back Kyle Monangai limited with a hamstring injury, which combined with Roschon Johnson's foot issue and Travis Homer already on injured reserve means the running game could be seriously compromised against Brian Flores' aggressive defense. The good news for Chicago is that wide receiver Devin Duvernay and defensive lineman Dominique Robinson are both listed as full participants despite dealing with hamstring and oblique injuries respectively. But here's the reality that has Vikings fans cautiously optimistic. If Jalon Johnson can't shadow Justin Jefferson effectively due to those soft tissue injuries, and the running back room is banged up heading into a primetime divisional game, we might have the perfect storm for JJ McCarthy's debut to become legendary. Our own injury report is still pending, but the early indicators suggest we might be healthier than Chicago at the most crucial positions, which could give us a significant advantage in a game where every possession matters and one big play could swing momentum for the entire season. The Bears are clearly dealing with depth issues at key positions, particularly in their secondary and backfield, which plays directly into our strengths with Jefferson, Adam Thielen, TJ Hockenson, and Aaron Jones ready to exploit any weakness in their depleted defensive units. And just when you think the injury news couldn't get more intriguing, here comes the next revelation that's pure excitement for Vikings Nation. Because we need to talk about the rookie who's becoming an absolute phenomenon. Brian Flores cannot stop praising defensive lineman Elijah Williams. And when you hear the level of enthusiasm our defensive coordinator has for this undrafted free agent, you're going to understand why this kid represents everything we love about finding diamonds in the rough. The Minnesota Vikings kept a whopping 7 undrafted free agents on the initial 53-man roster. which is a testament to both the impressive talent Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah's scouting department discovered and the reality that our roster's back end needed fresh blood, with hungry players ready to prove themselves. Williams signed out of rookie minicamp, which is already a massive indicator that the organization saw something special in a player who had zero fanfare and was competing against prospects who already had contracts locked up before the weekend even started. Throughout training camp, Williams consistently earned praise from coaches, teammates, and observers, building momentum that culminated in making the final roster as one of 6 defensive linemen who will rotate in Brian Flores' aggressive scheme. When Flores was asked about Williams, he unleashed a praise session that should have every Vikings fan excited about what we've uncovered on the defensive line. Elijah really did a fantastic job all the way through, from the rookie tryout flashing there and then getting into meetings and getting into walkthroughs and practice and flashing a little bit more in drills. He really took advantage of his opportunities and did some really nice things he just built all the way through training camp. But Flores wasn't finished. He continued with genuine excitement. It's one of those things early on, like he's making a couple of good plays and maybe we have something here. Or maybe it's a practice squad. And then it's like, hold on a second. He just kind of built and did a lot of good things in preseason games. The movement, the quickness, the tenacity, and then you get him in the building and you know what kind of person he is, what kind of worker he is. So there's this feeling that he's going to be able to develop even more so. This is the kind of player development story that makes the NFL beautiful. A kid with no draft pedigree who simply outworks everyone around him until coaches have no choice but to notice his relentless improvement and infectious work ethic. Based on last year's rotation patterns, with players like Jalen Redmond and Taki Taimani getting real playing time as young contributors, Williams is positioned to make an immediate impact during the season, especially if injuries or performance issues create opportunities for expanded roles. But trust me, the next story is going to make you either furious or concerned about our salary cap management, because it involves one of our highest paid players getting absolutely roasted by national media. TJ Hockenson, our $66 million tight end, has been named to Bleacher Report's list of the most overpaid players in the NFL. Whoa. And Brad Gagnon's analysis is going to make every Vikings fan question whether we made a massive mistake with this contract extension. Gagnon wrote a scathing evaluation that hits like a freight train. Hockenson has scored just 23 times in his 6-year NFL run. He's gone over 750 yards just twice and has never hit the 1,000-yard plateau. And injuries have again been a factor this offseason for a guy who just hasn't been consistently durable or a regular playmaker in his career. Meanwhile, the Vikings owe him $16.6 million in 2025, $21.4 million in 2026, and $23.4 million in 2027. These numbers are absolutely brutal when you break them down, because we're talking about paying elite tight end money to a player whose production has been inconsistent at best and whose durability has been a constant concern throughout his career. We acquired Hockenson from the Detroit Lions in a trade during the 2022 season. And while he had an incredible 2023 campaign catching 95 passes for 5 touchdowns, he completely disappeared in the red zone last season with 0 touchdown receptions, which is unacceptable for a player commanding this level of financial commitment. The reality is that Hockenson's contract represents a significant gamble on a player who's never consistently performed at an elite level despite flashes of brilliance, and with over $61 million committed to him through 2027, his production needs to justify that investment immediately, or this becomes a salary cap disaster that hampers our ability to retain other key players. The timing of this criticism is particularly stinging because we're heading into JJ. McCarthy's debut with expectations that Hockenson will be a security blanket and red zone target for our rookie quarterback. But if he continues the touchdown drought from last season, questions about this contract will only intensify as we try to maximize our championship window. The harsh truth is that great tight ends find the end zone consistently, and paying $66 million to a player who scored just 23 touchdowns in 6 NFL seasons feels like a massive overpay that could come back to haunt us if he doesn't dramatically improve his touchdown production and stay healthy for the duration of this expensive contract. Stay with me. Because what comes next might be the most surprising roster move we've made heading into Monday Night Football. And it involves completely shuffling our special teams returner positions just days before the season opener. And hey, the Minnesota Vikings have already adjusted their special teams bullpen, promoting undrafted rookie Miles Price to both kickoff returner and punt returner, while making some surprising changes that have Adam Thielen backing up punt returns despite having just 6 career punt returns for 8 yards in 162 NFL games. Let me explain why this move is both brilliant and risky. Because Price had an incredibly impressive August that caught the attention of coaches and fans alike. But asking an unproven rookie to handle both returner responsibilities in his NFL debut is ambitious even by Viking standards. The Isaiah Rodgers theory about him being the cornerback and kickoff returner appears to be completely done, as the coaching staff has decided to lean heavily on Price's explosiveness and ball security in both return phases. This is fantastic news for Price, who's shown safe hands and impressive speed throughout the preseason, but it's concerning news for rookie Ty Felton, who had ball security issues that got him demoted down the depth chart despite his impressive build and excellent wheels that initially made him a candidate for return duties. The Vikings haven't had a punt return touchdown since 2016. Which is a reality that the franchise is very aware of and desperately wants to change, especially in an era where field position and explosive plays can completely swing games in the modern NFL. Price's most important job is maintaining possession of the football, because poor field position is infinitely better than turnovers that give opponents short fields, and fumbling away possessions after the defense works hard to get the ball back is the fastest way to earn Brian Flores' wrath and lose the confidence of teammates who are counting on smart, reliable play. The depth chart now shows Price as the primary returner for both kicks and punts, with Adam Thielen as the backup punt returner despite his historically terrible 1.3 yards per return average and career high of just 9 yards on punt returns. Ty Chandler remains the backup kickoff returner, while Felton got bumped down to third string kickoff returner, though he's likely to maintain his role as a gunner where he's shown much more promise covering kicks than returning them. This reshuffling represents a significant gamble on Price's ability to provide the explosive plays we've been missing in the return game, while maintaining the ball security that's absolutely essential for a team with championship aspirations. And listen closely, the final revelation might be the most encouraging news for Vikings fans who are nervous about J.J. McCarthy's NFL debut, because it involves a signing that's already proving its worth before the season even starts. Carson Wentz's addition as our backup quarterback has already paid massive dividends there in preparing McCarthy for Monday Night Football. And their mentor-mentee relationship is exactly what our rookie quarterback needed heading into the most pressure-packed debut imaginable. When McCarthy was asked about his preparation level just days before the season kickoff, his response revealed how valuable Wentz has become. Extremely prepared. Most prepared I've felt in my life. Obviously, we still gotta get third down, red zone, and all that stuff in, but I feel like just talking to Coach Wentz Carson, he's breaking down when he was going through his first start, and when he was playing at Soldier Field at night and just first games, you never know what you're gonna get. So you could prepare as much as you want, but they could do a completely different thing. The most important thing is just staying locked into the simple things, locked into what my job is, that play, and then reacting to what the defense is giving me. This is exactly the kind of wisdom that can only come from a veteran who's been through every possible scenario a quarterback can encounter in the NFL. And Wentz's unique background makes him the perfect mentor for McCarthy's specific situation. Wentz started his career as the second overall pick by the Philadelphia Eagles, so he understands the immense pressure that comes with being a highly touted young quarterback with franchise expectations on his shoulders. He quickly developed into one of the league's elite quarterbacks, including the 2017 season where he was the MVP favorite before suffering a season-ending knee injury, which creates an incredible parallel to McCarthy's situation, coming off his own knee injury that cost him his entire rookie season. In 9 NFL seasons, Wentz has started 94 games for 5 different franchises, throwing for 153 touchdowns and over 22,000 yards while experiencing every possible high and low that professional football can offer, from MVP caliber seasons to locker room struggles that taught him valuable lessons about leadership and team chemistry. The fact that McCarthy feels more prepared than ever before heading into his debut is a direct testament to Wentz's mentoring and the coaching staff's ability to surround our rookie with experienced voices who can help him navigate the mental and emotional challenges of starting in the NFL. Combined with Kevin O'Connell and Josh McCown's quarterback expertise, plus weapons like Justin Jefferson, TJ, Hockenson, Adam Thielen, and eventually Jordan Addison, along with a running game built around Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason behind a revamped offensive line, McCarthy has everything he needs to succeed immediately, and Wentz's presence as a calm and veteran influence could be the difference between early season struggles and instant success. And if this Monday Night Football felt like the beginning of something special, what's coming next could be the foundation that launches our entire season into championship territory. Because the reality is that every single one of these developments points toward a Vikings team that's more prepared, more talented, and more hungry than anyone is giving us credit for heading into this crucial division showdown. We're healthier than Chicago at key positions, with their injury report showing significant concerns in their secondary and backfield, which plays directly into our offensive strengths, with Jefferson ready to torch a compromised cornerback group and our running game poised to exploit depth issues in their front seven. Our undrafted rookie Elijah Williams represents the kind of player development and scouting excellence that builds championship rosters, with Brian Flores' genuine excitement about his potential suggesting we found another impact player who will contribute immediately to our defensive rotation. The criticism of TJ. Hockenson's contract might sting, but it also provides motivation for our veteran tight end to prove doubters wrong while establishing himself as McCarthy's security blanket and red zone weapon in a way that justifies every dollar of his extension. Our special teams makeover, with Miles Price handling both return duties, represents the kind of calculated risk that championship teams take when they identify explosive playmakers who can change field position and momentum with one touch, especially when we haven't had a punt return touchdown since 2016 and desperately need that dimension of our game to improve. Most importantly, Carson Wentz's immediate impact on McCarthy's preparation and confidence shows that our front office made the perfect veteran addition to support our rookie quarterback